Hey everyone, it's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Fragrance Feedback Part 2, also known as Scentsy Empties this time. So I have a bunch here that I've been meaning to let you know my thoughts on, but I just had not gotten to it, and then it just kind of stockpiled. So without further ado, here we go. We're just going to dive in no particular order. Let's start with this one, hashtag hustle. So this is from our old hashtag whatever collection it was called, I don't know. Was before my time in Scentsy, but this one, the best way I can describe this is a less sweet, less fresh feeling version of the Mandalorian. So this is, you get like a mint, but it's very earthy. It almost feels like slightly stale in terms, it's like a flat sort of freshness. I want to say that there's like something in here that's almost like woodsy on the bottom. But it's just, it's after having smelled the Mandalorian and seeing how exciting that scent is, comparing it to this one is like, was this like the base for the Mandalorian? And then you figured out how to fix the things that were maybe not quite as strong in this. Yeah, I don't know if there's like a silver mint or some sort of like minty note in this, but there's definitely an earthy dirt note that kind of throws things off, and I feel like there is a woodsy note. Anyways, I wasn't a fan of it. It was like, okay, but I wouldn't go out of my way to find it or worm it again. All right, next we have Blue Sage and Tonka. This is from our current catalog. This is a surprisingly delightful cologne vibe. It's very masculine. I'm not a huge sage person, but in this scent, it works really well. I don't really get a whole lot of like sage in the traditional sense, like burning your house sage from evil spirits or something like that. It's not that type of sage. And the Tonka kind of gives like that sweet vanilla, slightly cherry finish, but it also rounds out the scent. So it's a little bit more vanilla based in this, I would say, in terms of the finish it gives. But this is a great, nice cologne scent. It's not overwhelmingly and overpowering in your room, but you will smell it. Going in my club. Also, from our new releases, I guess I should say that was a new release this year. Tinsel Berry. This is basically strawberries and cinnamon. I think there's raspberry in here too. But it's basically strawberries and cinnamon, and I'm not particularly fond of it. I was not fond of it on cold because of the cinnamon and the strawberry, and not particularly fond of it warm, but it does perform quite well. So if you like strawberries and you like cinnamon, you may want to consider this scent. I feel like strawberry and cinnamon isn't something that I'm particularly fond of, and I think the strawberry scents in general just don't do a whole lot for me. All right, from the Harvest Collection, Orchard, Apple, and Spice. This was just released not too long ago. This is a gorgeous, like, golden, juicy golden apple, if you will. Maybe a simmering apple in, like, a pot of water, like, as you're starting to make applesauce or something. It's super yummy and juicy. And then you get a bunch of spice. And I like this scent, but at some points the spice becomes a little bit overwhelming, and it's just like, spice! And I'm not a huge spice fanatic. Like, I can do some bakery stuff, occasional spice. This whole collection was themed around spice, so it kind of was already like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be in love with it. Is this a great apple and spice scent? Yes. Is it something that I need to have in my club always? Probably not. Would I pick up another bar or two? Probably. I would worm this again. I would say out of the three, this was like the contender for the top of the three that I preferred. And then we'll go through the other two in a second. But that is Orchard, Apple, and Spice. The second one from that combination, triad, trio, whatever you want to call it, is hiding somewhere. Cranberry, Pumpkin, Spice. This one, we need to talk here. So, again, these are all my opinions, right? But I don't really get cranberry. I get, like, sugared, and I think the note is, like, sugared cranberry. But I get the sugared note, but I don't get the cranberry. If anything, it's, like, a hint and then it's gone. I get a lot of pumpkin, and I get a lot of spice. And I think the sugared part of the cranberry, in addition to the spice, just kind of like turns it into sugar and spice and pumpkin. With a hint of like a sweetness from, or tartness from the berry. This is probably my least favorite of the ones in this collection, and as you warmed it, it became more and more like pumpkin-y and spicy and less of like cranberry anywhere. So I can't personally say that I enjoyed that as much, but I know that a lot of people do enjoy it. And then the third in the collection was Toasted Acorn and Oak, and I would say out of the 3 scents, this was probably the most unique. You get a... There's a sweetness to this. This almost gives me like vanilla bakery vibes. Like you get the acorn, it's like a nutty, warm, kind of golden vibe. You do get an oak note, but there's a sweetness to this scent, and there's like almost a bakery quality. It's not like quite, I can't quite place it. It's like not really buttery. It's not necessarily like caramel. I definitely feel like there's some sort of vanilla going on in here. And man, talk about scent monster. This thing throws. I know some people were saying, I'd read that some people were saying that this is a softer scent. Not for me. Oh my goodness. This thing throws like a monster and lasts like a monster. So, it is a great fall scent. I know some people were probably thrown off by like acorn. I don't want my house smelling like acorns. It's gonna like smell like dirt or bark or something. No, think of it kind of like almonds, chestnuts, hazelnuts, acorns. You're gonna get a similar sort of like nutty quality to this. This one's in my club right now. Out of the 3, this one and the apple one, Orchard Apple and Spice, are in my club. I may pull the Orchard Apple one out just because I feel like apples and spices are fairly common sense to find. But this one is quite unique, and I've been going back and forth as to whether or not I want to keep it in my club. But it is nice. One that is not quite so nice, though, is just like the villain in the movie of Nightmare Before Christmas, Roll of the Dice. This one, I got through like half of it and gave up. Wow, I don't know where to begin with this scent. It is something else. Let's just put it that way. I know that there is sage and balsam in here. I forget what the top notes are, but it's a lot. I thought like at one point there was like a green note. I thought there was like a melon note. You could argue that there might even be a currant note in here. I don't know. There's a whole lot going on in here, and I won't say that it was like vomit-inducing scent for me, because it takes a whole lot to get to that point. But this was unpleasant enough to the point where after about half a day of dealing with it, just getting progressively stronger and stronger and stronger, I was like, no, I'm good with this. I don't need to warm this anymore. This is too much. So in terms of performance throw, wow, this will do great. Like a lot of our Disney licensed bars tend to be a little bit softer in my experience in throw. This one has no problem. But yeah, let's just say that I'm not a fan and leave it at that. All right, next we have Scary Good. This is the scent of the month currently. This is like spice and pumpkins and butterscotch and caramel and whatever else. And it is just so heavily spiced when it's warming. Like, it's too much for me. Like, I know in my scent of the month video, I was like spritzing the room spray, and I was like, oh my gosh, the room spray, it smells so great. The bar did not turn out like that. Not so at all whatsoever. I still think I like it in the room spray just fine. But warming and in the room, like, this is just nauseatingly spicy for me. So if you like spice-heavy scents and you do like more of the bakery, like caramel, butterscotch, buttery notes, you'll probably enjoy this one to a degree. This was just a little too scary on the spice side for me. It was scary spice, right? We're back in the Spice Girls. All right, next we have Harvest Blessings. This is another new release, I believe. And this smells like fall. You get like leaves, you get like that like Sensational's fresh autumn air vibe. You get like apple pumpkins going on in here. But you also get a spice note. And I think for me, if the spice wasn't so obvious, like if it was slightly more subtle in this scent, I would have absolutely like raved about this scent. But it was the spice on the end of it that just kind of like killed the mood for me. Not so much that I would never worm this again. Like, I do like the scent, but it is not club worthy for me personally. I just, when we get into fall and winter, there's a lot of spice heavy scents, and I am not a spice heavy scent person. I appreciate some spice, but I don't want it to be like spice plus everything else. And this was doing great until the spice note decided to like start poking its head out and be a little bit more potent. But it is a good performer, and I do like it overall as a scent. So it would be one that I'd pick up once in a while, but I wouldn't necessarily put in my club. Got through a bar of Pink Sugarberry Mint. This is from, I think, earlier this year. This is like sweet berries and mint. Slightly bubblegum vibes. Very sweet. I don't really quite get as much bubblegum vibe from the whole like berries and mint thing going on. But I will say this is a little bit too cloying for me. This is not in my club, but I had a bar that I wanted to get through and see what my thoughts were. And I decided. Next we have Spiced Ember Glow. This is not a unique scent. I've smelled something similar to this. And I can't remember what the bar was. It's not like, it's along the lines of Around the Campfire in that there's like a sweetness to it. There's a little bit more of a smokiness, I think, in Around the Campfire, and more of like a almost barbecue vibe to Around the Campfire. This one is like, if you put your nose near the embers and the final glow of like a fireplace where it's like that slightly sweet, burnt, sort of warmth, you definitely kind of get that vibe. Like it's definitely there. It's there's a scent from, I want to say Birchwood Bonfire or something like that from Better Homes and Gardens that this kind of reminds me of, but I feel like that's not the scent that I'm thinking of. I think I'm just thinking of that because it has bonfire in the name. But there was a scent from a Walmart wax that smelled similar to this that it reminds me of. Anyways, it's okay. It performs well. It lasts all day. No problem with performance. It's just not necessarily club worthy or like to write home about for me personally. But it is a nice scent. All right, next we have Flower Shop. This is from Who Knows When, Bring Back My Bar. And this is just like fresh cut flowers in a vase. Or like you walked into the refrigerated section in the flower shop. And I'm not mad about it. It's a great scent. I wanted something light and springy and just different from all the other like heavy scents that I've been worming, and it did the job. So I do love this. I would get it again if it came back. It's great. If you like a fresh cut flower sort of florist shop vibe, that's basically what it is in a nutshell. I got through a bar of Stargazing. This was another scent of the month. This is like the adult version of Jammy Time. And it's nice, it's great, it's a little bit more mellow in some regards than Jammy Time, and a little bit more potent in other regards. You definitely pick up on that like sort of lavendery, herbaceous, sort of like night vibe that you get with Jammy Time. There's, I think, cotton in this too. It's nice, but it's not club worthy for me. I actually pulled it out of my club. I love the name of it, Stargazing, but it doesn't quite live up to my own personal desires of it being like, oh my god, gotta have it. So out of the club it went, but I do have a few more bars and I will worm through them eventually. Next we have Boho. This is another old bar, and I believe this is coming back in the Bring Back My Bar coming up in January. Anyways, this is like fruity, plummy, musky, perfumey vibes. It's quite nice. I feel like there's a lot going on in this scent. But it's like fruity meets musky, perfumey notes. And it works. It works. Is it like one of my favorites? Probably not, but I do enjoy it, and I will definitely look forward to picking up at least another bar should it come back. But as far as club-worthy, again, not necessarily. Got through a bar of vanilla blackberry. It's like scent of the month central over here. And this is described as vanilla blackberry, you know, hence the name. But I get very little vanilla. It's mostly blackberry. There's almost like a woodsy quality to this with blackberry more than there is a vanilla note. And I like it. I think I've reviewed this a little bit more in depth in another fragrance feedback. I like this, but I don't love it, so it's not necessarily club-worthy for me, but I have some bars, and I'm enjoying going through them while I have them. Next, I have Cinnamon Buttercream. This is a surprisingly yummy scent. I do get like a French toast or like a toast vibe or like a bakery note to this, more so than just cinnamon and buttercream, which is not a bad thing. But I feel like I expected more just cinnamon and straight up like frosting. Like vanilla bean buttercream is almost obnoxious to smell on its own. And this one gives me like almost a pastry vibe, which I kind of like. I feel like if I had this and I drizzled like the icing that you'd put on like a cinnamon bun on here, this would basically be Cinnabon. I wonder if I could find a scent to mix to make it smell like that. Yeah, but this almost gives me more like cinnamon buns rather than just cinnamon buttercream. Like buttered cinnamon rolls. Anyways, very yummy, like it. Club-worthy, undecided yet. Next we have Mocha Doodle. I don't think we have this anymore, I can't remember. But this is a nice chocolatey, slightly coffee vibe scent. Very nice, like, warm kind of bakery vibes to it without being overwhelming. I'm not usually a fan of chocolatey-based scents. I feel like they all tend to smell very much like cocoa powder or Nesquik or something. This one was an exception. I really enjoyed this one. And I do hope it comes back to the catalog. I don't think it's in our current one right now, but I could be wrong. Sometimes I forget which is in our catalog because we have so many awesome scents. But it is a great scent, and it is in my club. Next, we have a bar of NFL's Gridiron Rush. This was a licensed football bar. It's fresh grass and sandalwood, and then like citrus and apple or something like that. Or yeah, I think that's right. Or citrus and lemon or whatever. Anyways, it smells like you're at a football game, like the turf itself. And it's very, very surprisingly pretty accurate in that sense. But I didn't necessarily need my place to smell like a football stadium or the AstroTurf, so took it out of my club, but I enjoyed getting another bar of it while I could. All right, then let's talk about Pomegranate Prosecco, which is decided to get all juicy on me. This one's one of the new releases. It is definitely pomegranate. It is definitely Prosecco. There's a little bit of a pungency there because of that Prosecco note on top of the tartness of the pomegranate. And I need to wipe my hands off because this bar was really juicy for some reason. I am not particularly fond of this scent, but if you are fond of pomegranates or like Prosecco or champagne fizzy sort of based scents, you will probably enjoy this one quite well. It does perform well. Just wasn't my personal favorite for myself. Next, we have Scarlet Sunflower. This was another new release. This is like florals and juicy apples and like warm golden sunshine or something. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. It's dewy, it's floral, it's juicy apples. Like, it's everything I want. My biggest gripe was that I felt like it was a softer scent, which is surprising because I feel like apple and floral scents aren't usually going to be that soft, but this one was a little bit softer than I expected, and it didn't last as long throughout the day as I would have preferred either. Like, it seemed to futz out quicker than I would have preferred. But that aside, this is, I think it's a club-worthy scent. It's in my club for now, just because it's beautiful. Actually, I lied. It's not in my club yet because it's in our current catalog, but if it goes out of our catalog, it will stay in my club. Like I said, I like it. It's a fantastic combination. I just wish it was a little bit more of a solid performer in terms of longevity and strength. All right, next we have Sandlapped. This is retired now. This is from our spring-summer collection. This is a beautiful, you get sand, driftwood. There's a slight lemony citrus vibe to this. Oh, it's so good. This is in my club, and forever there it shall stay. But it's just this really, really nice sort of beachy vibes with like a woodsy undertone and then the uplifting citrus. And I love it. It's a softer performer. It's like medium strength, maybe medium soft, maybe medium loud. But it still performs quite well, and I do enjoy it. So, there you go. Next, I have a bar of Business Casual. This is from who knows how long ago. This is a great cologne scent. I wish everyone would vote this back so that I could put it in my club and want to bring back my bars. It has yet to come back, just like Shaka has yet to come back for me. But when they do, they're both going in my club forever. Yeah, there's like, I want to say there's like a suede or like a leather note in here too, maybe. But it's just this nice cologne. No, there's probably bergamot in here if I had to guess. Oh, it's just so good. If this was a cologne, like Scentsy, when you ever make a cologne, let me know because I will totally buy that as a cologne. Not as a shave soap or a shave balm. Can we do like cologne? So it's like, it's not that difficult. All right. Inhale, exhale, or a body spray. Why not? Inhale, exhale is another bar I got through. We had this. It's not in our catalog at the moment. I love this scent. It will, till death do us part, be in my Scentsy club, most likely. I love it. It's a strong scent. It's a love-or-hate scent. There's kiwi. There's wood, golden wood. There's something else in here. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. There's like the kitchen sink in here. And it kind of transforms as you warm it. So it starts out smelling kind of one way, and then it kind of shifts through its warming. I love it. It's strong. Lasts all day. And that's all I gotta say about that one. All right, next we have Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear to Infinity and Beyond. I found a bar of this. This is, in one word, forgettable. It's, I think, like a berry... I don't even remember. It's like so faint in the clamshell now. This is like a berry-esque scent, I want to say. It was not only disappointingly... nothing special in terms of its scent notes, but also it was infernally soft. Like, I almost didn't smell it in the warmers, unless I was hovering, and it, like, the only burst it gave was the initial warming of it, and then it was, like, gone. So I can't recommend this, unfortunately, as a scent, but maybe I'll get another bar down the road, and it'll smell better, or different, or stronger, or whatever. But this one was just kind of like, womp, womp. All right, let's move on to the Glam Collection. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have all 5 because I'm finishing warming one, but let's talk about it. Dazzle Darling. This is like sage and grapefruit and sea salt, and I am not a fan of it. It's okay. It becomes very salty, very grapefruity, but then when it dies out, the remaining sage woodsy note in here is kind of off-throwing. Like, not like vomit-inducing off-throwing, but to the point where you're like, ooh, something doesn't smell quite right. I need to get this out of my warmers. This is not one of my favorite bars. I appreciate the grapefruit, sage, sea salt vibe attempt, but was kind of a miss for me. Keep It Sassy. All right, this one is basically like a sparkling cherry lemonade. Lemonade. And there's like a slight like perfumey note to it too. I like this scent. It's kind of as though if cherry limeade was cherry lemon and cherry vanilla just was cherry, and then they like mixed themselves together, this would be like their love child, where it's like slightly fizzy effervescence because of the sparkling lemon, but also really heavy on the sweet cherry, but it doesn't smell like medicinal cherry. It's great. It's a great scent. I don't need it in my club, but if I got more bars of it, I would be like, yay, I will warm those. So there's that. Born to Shine. This is a like citrus cashmere situation, nectarine blossom. I don't know, I'm making things up now. Yeah, there's like a floral, slightly citrus, and cashmere note to this. It's nice. My biggest gripe is it's soft. And that it's forgettable. Like, I feel like this scent profile is great, but it struggles compared to similar scents along these same scent notes. In terms of performance, throw, longevity. Like, it's a beautiful scent, but I was just kind of left wanting more. It was in my club. I'm probably going to grab one more bar of it, and then I'm going to pull it out of my club. Nice scent, but just, for me at least, it wasn't anything special. Sweet But Fierce, this one is in my club. If you liked Lavender and Violets from our Life's Gardens collection, or whatever it's called, this is in the same sort of vein as that scent. It's no violets, I don't think, but maybe it's no lavender, I don't remember. Either way, it's very similar in scent profile, so if you missed it that time around or didn't put it in your club, this is a very similar sort of scent family adjacent mix for it, or dupe, or whatever you want to call it. I like this. It'll stay in my club. I'll probably eventually warm it side by side to the other scent and then see which one I like better. But it's a nice scent, so it's in my club. Happy with it, and it performs quite well. It's quite strong, actually, for me. I think my biggest gripe in closing on the whole Glam collection, I know there's one other one that I really like, that I'm still warming through, I'm savoring it, is that none of the scents stuck out as particularly revolutionary or new or unique. They were all kind of like adjacently from a similar scent that we've had in the past, whether recent or distant. So, but doesn't mean that they were bad scents. Next, we have Aladdin 3 Wishes. Some people have kind of described this as akin to similar to Blueberry Rush. This is similar, but different. Like, there's a sugared berry note to this. It's a little bit more, like, almost perfumey in that sense. I prefer this, I think, to Blueberry Rush. I think this has more depth and dimension to it. But it is a beautiful scent, and this one is actually in my club. And it performs quite well, so not mad about that. Next, we have the Looney Tunes Bar, and I don't remember the scent notes. They're escaping me again. It's berries and flowers, I think. And maybe like an apple or something in there. I don't know. That could be a lie. But there's definitely berries and like a floral note. This is a dewy floral, like slightly aquatic, and then you get berry note to it. My issue is that it's not very unique. Like, it just feels like another dewy aquatic floral with a hint of sweetness, rather than being some really revolutionary, like, whoa, let me throw some random berry in here. It's just like soft berries kind of bringing in more of a dewy sweetness to the original aquatic floral. It also did not perform particularly strong for me. It was quite soft. And which was another kind of negative in its book. I love that Roadrunner's on here, because if we ever have a Scentsy buddy of Roadrunner, I might buy, like, all of them. Like, all of the Roadrunners. I'll just have my room, like, everything will be Roadrunner. Just kidding. But I will get him. But this scent was just kind of forgettable. I wanted more from it. I wanted it to be either stronger or a little bit more unique, or have something about it that was, like, different, and I didn't quite get there with it. So, nice scent, but is it necessarily, like, write home about? Probably not. Next, we have Graham Cracker Crunch. We have 2 more. This one is, surprisingly, I really enjoyed this one. The first time around, I didn't get the peanut note at all, peanut butter note. Second time, I got it a little bit. It's a nice, creamy, vanilla, bakery sort of vibe going on. It's not particularly heavy, obnoxious, and I actually enjoyed it. As someone who doesn't like super cloying, heavy bakery scents, I actually really enjoyed the scent. Is it club worthy? I'm not sure. I may grab another bar or 2 of this and see before I make that decision. But at least when I warmed it, I was very pleasantly surprised, because it far exceeded what I thought it was going to be in a good way. So, hats off to Graham Cracker Crunch. And finally, last but not least, is Fairy Tale Pumpkin. This is our upcoming October scent of the month. So, I don't think I am particularly fond of this scent. At first, I was like, oh, I like it. And then I warmed it once, and I was like, it's okay. And then I warmed it again, and I was like, oh. In a different place, too. In a different, yeah. So, you do get a kind of grapey berry note to this. You do get pumpkin. There is like a subtle like top spice note, which includes, I think it's cinnamon, spice pomander, and black licorice. And I will say that on warming, you eventually get that black licorice note. Like, it doesn't show up at the start or the first few hours, but it's there. And it kind of gets, I feel like it gets stronger as the longer you warm it, and I don't like black licorice. So, the sort of berry note in this, the grapey berry note, I don't mind. It's not like Grape Jolly Rancher, but it's definitely like on those aligned vibes. I think it's like that blueberry, midnight black raspberry combo. I don't mind, but I think the other scents in this bar are preventing me from realizing it and enjoying it in a way that I would like to. The Harvest Pumpkin is quite strong and pronounced in this bar, which, I mean, it is a pumpkin scent, so I would hope so. And I will say, while I'm not a fan of it, as a whole, it lasts quite long, and it is a very different scent. Not for me personally different, but very different scent. And you know, earlier in this video I was mentioning how some of our scents were kind of like, felt like they were just like nothing special. This is definitely different. This is very different. I don't think we've ever had something, to my knowledge, that's very licoricey like this. Or all of the things that are in here like this. But I think this is going to be one of those ones where it's going to be a love or hate fragrance at the end of the day. And that, like, there's not going to be, like, the okay in between. Like, either I want to smell it or I don't want to smell it. But I encourage you to try it, or if you have tried it, let me know what you think on that one. And that brings us to the end of our Scentsy Empties. I am going to be recycling all these lovely little clamshells. In the meantime, let me know if you've tried any of these, if you have similar thoughts, or if you have completely different thoughts from me. Please let me know. I'm always curious to know. Thank you for tuning in, as usual, and if you are new here, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye!